麻生さんもここで喋ったんですか。鳩山さんはまだです。
I think Mr. Hatayama has not yet come here. Is that correct?
なんだ。みのもんたでございます。4年前になりますかね。一度ここで、お話をさせていただいたことがあります。あまり大きなニュースにならなかったのでがっかりしたんですけど。ですから今回お話をいただいたときに、どのくらいの国の記者の方が取材に来てくれてるんですか。彼女に聞きましたら、わからない。
I'm a little disappointed to hear that Mr. Hatayama has already been here as well. I am Mina Monta, I've just been introduced, and many of you may know that I have spoken here once before, about 4 years ago, and at that time I had great expectations that my name would be featured in many articles, but actually there wasn't much news coverage that time. So this time when I was again invited, I asked, before we came here in the antechamber, I asked Ms. Makino how many different countries are represented by journalists today, and she said, I don't know yet.
多分ほとんどの方がマスコミ関係、外国の日本に来てる記者の方じゃないかと、そう信じております。こんなにお嬢さんが多いとは、外国人記者クラブは素晴らしいところだなと思うんです。
Of course, I'm assuming that most of you here today are foreign correspondents and representatives of the media. The Fccj must be a wonderful place because I see that there are so many young lady journalists.
今日はちょうど日本の衆議院の選挙が終わったところで、16日には新しい総理大臣が生まれるということで、私は朝月火水木金土と報道系のニュースショーをやっておりますので、一つ戦後64年間でなぜ日本がこういう変革を遂げたのかな、私なりにお話を外国から取材に来ている記者の皆さんにしてみたいと思います。
Of course, we know that we have just completed a very, very historical election for the lower house, and on the 16th of this month we will have a new prime minister. As you may know, I do have a morning broadcast, a news program from Monday through Saturday, and in this program I talk about the latest political news. And so today I thought I would take the opportunity to take my experience and talk to you, members of the foreign press, about why I think after 64 years we are seeing this tremendous change.
戦後64年、戦後と言いますんですね。私の年代、あるいはここにいらっしゃるほとんどの方は第二次世界大戦、大東亜戦争お分かりになると思いますが、今のそうですね、小学校の高学年とか中学生に戦後といってもその戦後の戦という何の戦争かわからないという風化し始めたちょうど時だと思います。
The Second World War ended about 64 years ago. I think many of you here today belong to the same generation that I do. In other words, we know what the post-war period really refers to. However, when you talk with younger children, for example, children in the upper grades of elementary school, if you talk about the post-war period, they don't even know necessarily what post-war means. They don't understand what the war was about.
戦後64年、日本は1955年に俗に言う55年体制、自由党という党と民主党という党が一緒になって自由民主党というのが生まれました。それがずっと半世紀近く日本の主流政治の主流だったんです。
When we talk about the 64 years following World War II, I think the most important date to remember, or the most important year to remember in the political world is 1955. We often talk about the 1955 system in the political world. This refers to 1955 when the Liberal Party and the Democratic Party came together and formed the LDP, the Liberal Democratic Party. The LDP has basically held power in the mainstream political party for over 50 years.
私は今65歳でございます。1944年の生まれです。
I myself am 65 years old. I was born in 1944.
私の小学校、中学校時代というのは街にアメリカの兵隊さんが溢れている時代でした。
When I was in elementary school, when I was in junior high school, I remember walking the streets of the cities and seeing lots and lots of American soldiers.
そういう中で私は育ちまして、アメリカという国に日本人は大変な 憧れを持ちました。
Of course, because it was that time, people in Japan had greatly idealized the United States.
その憧れの中でも一番大きいのは強いアメリカというイメージです。
And one of the great things that we admired about the United States was it was a powerful, mighty country.
憧れのハワイコールという歌が日本でヒットしました。
Apparently there was a song that was very popular at that time, which basically translates as the Hawaii that one idealizes or that one really admires.
この曲を作った人はハワイに一度も行ったことない人なんです。
But the person who wrote the lyrics to the song had never visited Hawaii.
それでも日本人はハワイに夢と憧れを持って大ヒットさせました。
But because it was a time when Japanese people had great dreams and great idealistic feelings about the United States and about Hawaii, this song was a tremendous hit.
そして1955年に自民党が大きな政党として誕生したんです。
And as I mentioned, we entered the year 1955 when the LDP became a new, huge political party.
日本の国会の勢力分布を見ますと、自民党一色と言ってもいいぐらい。
When we looked at the balance of power within the Diet, we saw that almost all of the members of the Diet were belonging to the LDP.
それがどう今回の選挙で変わったか、ちょっとお見せしたいと思います。
Now, this is how it was in the past. What has changed in this election? I would like to show you visually what changes have taken place.
お見せです。お見せするという。
And I said earlier, I wanted to show you the differences.
これはここにいらっしゃる限られた人に対する私からのスペシャルプレゼントです。
This is a special present, a visual presentation, a present that I'm going to show only the people who are in this room. It's a very special chart.
これがミノモンタです。
This is Yurakucho.
2009エレクションと書きました。
And it says 2009 election.
どういう意味ですか？
What does this mean?
選挙です。
It means election.
2009よろしくございますか？こういう状態だったんです。
This is what the lower house looked like before the election.
Before election 選挙前。この赤いところが自民党です。
The seats indicated in red belong to the LDP.
自民党、自民党、自民党、自民党、自民党、自民党です。
Lots and lots of LDP seats.
これがどうか。
How did this change?
この赤が自民党の赤がどうなったか。
In other words, what happened to these red seats indicated in red? I'm sorry, the LDP seats indicated in red.
大変な入れ替わり。
You can see we've seen a great change in the proportion of red and blue.
なぜこうなったのかというのが大変大きな今日の僕の話